Hello, my name is Brian Penn. I am the coordinator and director for Victor Penn's Dog Sanctuary and Rescue. I'm taking a moment without my partner in crime being here and taking some time to talk with you guys to answer some questions. We are trying to build the most high-tech, never seen before sanctuary. When you walk into a pound, everything is isolated in one building. We're separating everybody. We're very proud of it. I'm going to go through each of the buildings. The first of the buildings is the permanent sanctuary, where dogs that cannot be adopted out. Those are like the ones missing eyes, they're too old, they're too sick, they need a place to live their days out. Then we move to building 2 is a wolf dog sanctuary where they can't be adopted out no more. And they can live out their days without being euthanized or anything at a shelter. The next building is the quarantine building. There are 2 buildings side by side. Quarantine 1 is where the dogs will sit there for evaluation for 21 days to assess what level of help they need. Building Quarantine 2 is for the severely sick, where we don't want diseases running rampant through the sanctuary. This building is isolated and locked off from everybody. The next building is called the nursery. These where you can walk in and see how the building split in half. You'll see through into the a wall with plexiglass and everything, where you see all the mamas getting ready to give birth, and they already have given birth, and relaxing and taking care of their babies. After 4 weeks, they'd be moved out into the nursery area where patrons can come and pick out a puppy and start their adoption process. The next building is what we call the penitentiary. This building is designed for these aggressive dogs that need to be retrained and assessed even further. We don't believe in euthanization. If the dog's been abused too much and too far gone, we will euthanize. Sadly, that breaks our heart. Our goal is not to euthanize. Then we move to the next one, is the bath world, I'm calling it. It's the grooming building. This one is split into 2 parts too. There is a quarantine area in the back of this building for dogs that have been rescued that are severely covered and infested with fleas and ticks, where we can take the time and get them cleaned and ready for court. Each of these buildings have a fully equipped medical room. Like the nursery has a OR, incubators, and warmers at all times. The grooming building will have a place where we can sedate and get the fleas and ticks off the dogs easier. Now we move on to the adoption building. This is a 2-part building too. You have where you can go in and look and interview dogs and see if you want to take them outside and play with them for a few minutes. Then you will move over into the adoption center. This is where a 4-phase adoption plan begins. It's a long adoption. Phase 1, we do a background check through the whole United States to make sure you don't have no prior eviction of animal cruelty. We will not adopt out to people that have animal cruelty charges on them. Part 2 is we'll be calling your landlord and making sure the HOA and them are okay with it. Phase 3 is bringing you, your kids, and your dog into the adoption center, where there is a room set up like a living room and an outdoor area for your dog, and your kid can interact with this dog to make sure they're okay with it. Phase 4, before the final day of the adoption, if you made it this far, you're doing great. You will be taking the dog home for an overnight stay to see how he does in your environment, and we will go out there with you for a few hours before the overnight stays to make sure the dog is comfortable and okay with you guys. Then everything comes back clean and you're good to go. You come back to the sanctuary, we give you the adoption papers and its LoJack chip number, and make sure the chip is activated, and with all your personal information, you get an adoption certificate and you have a new family member. The one we love, we designed together, is called the Canine Building. This is for the state's canine officers. If they're injured in the line of duty, this building has an OR, recovery, and physical therapy to help them recover. Then you move to the rehabilitation building. This building is set up for occupational therapy for the dogs, where they can get used to having missing limbs back to them normal themselves. Then we have another source of income, because the front part of the grooming salon's open to the public, where they can come get their dog groomed, or we'll come to them and groom them, because we'll have mobile grooming units. The next one is a doggy daycare. If you're going out on vacation, we'll take care of them. We'll have plenty of staff and everything. It's a doggy daycare and a hospitality, where the dog is treated like royalty, like the canine hospital where the dogs are treated like royalty. Then we move to the front of the sanctuary. You have our admin building, where we do all of our day-to-day operations. Connected to that is the intake building, where there's 2 garage doors leading into the main building. This is where all the magic happens. It's set up as a trauma bay, like an OR. If we go out with the ASPCA and do rescues for these breeds we have picked, we have 13 breeds we're bringing into the sanctuary. 13. We will have medical staff and volunteers on standby to start photographing, assessing, and getting them into quarantine. On the opposite side of the road is where we'll be housing about 3 to 4 garages, nothing but equipment. Trucks hooked to trailers, the mobile vet office, Dachshund Rescue 1, my vehicle, Dachshund Rescue 2 personnel vehicle. That is how my dad set up the sanctuary when he started dreaming about it in 2009. He wanted the most unique, one-of-a-kind sanctuary. We are working on finding board members. Our ideal board member is veterinarian, a designer, a canine officer, and their canine partner. The canine partner is the board member. We want a detective for investigations, a regular police officer, and an animal control officer, and an ASPCA officer on our board. For when we can know we're on all pages. That's how our board's going to be set up. That's how we decided. We have the National Disaster Relief Program we're working on right now, because we've seen so much going on with the floods and fires, where we will immobilize out to that state and help for a search and rescue and bring home fur babies to their mommy and daddies. Note, like we keep saying, our full saying is no dog left behind. We are the voice for them. We are the ones hearing their pain. So, at the end of the driveway of the property, because it will be living on this property, is 2 buildings. One is a drop-off location where it will alert us up at the sanctuary or at the house that a dog has been dropped off. The other one is for donations. Like I said, I have been working on this since 2017. And we think we have narrowed it down to 2 states. We're either heading for Colorado or Texas, because Texas is more viable because it's more warmer for the dogs, and because of my health and my wife's health. We're not spring chickens no more. We don't feel like dealing with mountains of snow. But like I said, the sanctuary was my dad's dream. I'm going to go into a little detail how the dream came about. He was watching a Super Bowl commercial, and he got into it, and all of a sudden this commercial comes up, and this rancher had a herd of dachshunds, and it got loose, and he's screaming, "Stampede!" He came up with the Dachshund Sanctuary. He wanted to have 15 to 50 dachshunds and release them at once, and have them stampeding toward my mom, where she would fly in the air and bounce off her little rump. But sadly, we lost our founder in 2016. Now it's up to me, as the third co-founder and the second founder, to bring his dream to life. We are very proud of it. I wouldn't be doing so much work and getting blinded by the sun, because I'm sitting in my car right now, to bring his legacy to life. In the center of the sanctuary, there will be a pond and a rose garden. There'll be a Japanese-themed garden. It's his memorial garden where he will be remembered. The other part of the property is about 4 to 8 acres, total of 16 acres, split in half. If the law enforcement officer were donating half of that land to the law enforcement officers for fallen canine units, it's pet cemetery. And the rest is for the sanctuary dogs who need to be laid to rest. Like I said, we've been working around the clock. We've got the uniforms designed. We're working on merch. I'm hoping by the 1st of February or the end of this month we have the GoFundMe up, because we got to get up to $600,000 to get the property wherever we're going. We're looking for an 86 to 200 acre property where we can have a lot of fun. But like I said, my dad's dream means the world to me. Sorry about that. That's Tiny being a bat butt bouncing around. And you can see him moving. We may be homeless right now, and that's the sad part, but it hasn't stopped our dream. We're going to get back on our feet, get our legal matters taken care of, and we're going to start the sanctuary. We're hoping in March or April to start the veterinarian technician classes. We are going through pet counseling, dog obedience training classes, pet grooming, and veterinarian technician. We're going to make sure we have the background training we need to run the sanctuary to the best we can. For these dogs are never left behind. It hurts me to say that seeing dogs get abused and everything kills me. Like this boy right here is the reason why we're doing a background check on properties and with HOA to make sure the dog is allowed, because Tiny is a rescue. His mommy and daddy were going to dump him on the side of the road outside Ottawa, Kansas. They were good friends of ours, and we were camping with them before we left Ottawa, and we took Tiny in because they didn't check with their landlord and the dog restrictions at the apartment complex, and they got busted, and they were just going to dump Tiny. It's not right to dump a dog. Like my dad said, these dogs are not a overnight commitment. You're committing to the lifespan of the dog, if it's 5 years, 10 years, 18 years. And the biggest part about the sanctuary is we are a learning sanctuary. We're here to teach the community about how to take care of dogs, animal cruelty and abandonment. We are proud of the property. We're proud to be doing this. It's a long journey. So please like, subscribe, share, follow. The more you share, the more followers we can get. We can get sponsorships on TikTok on here. We want to grow our community with the Penn Sanctuary page. We are very proud of it. You guys have a great Tuesday. And by the way, did you see that Chiefs game on Sunday? Wow, what a game. Go Chiefs. Any Chiefs fans out there watching this? We're going back for a three-peat. And whoever supports Trump, we're definitely Trump supporters. We're going to be sending him a letter asking for his endorsements. So, like I said, subscribe, like, share, and repeat. Do not let Victor Penn's dream die. Help us bring it to life. We want this sanctuary to be around for 20 generations. So, you guys have a good day. This is Lenexa, Kansas, signing off.